Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nezzy's Podcast. I am your host, Finez Davis, and this is episode 9. I am so excited. When I thought that I was going to give up podcasting, I guess God has a way of telling you, you're not done with that. So I'm going to continue. And this is a place of motivation, encouragement, inspiration. I talk about real topics, real issues with real people. So I have my tea tonight, and I hope you grab your tea or your coffee and just sit around and listen to my podcast. I would love for you also to share, because today I'm going to be talking about bouncing back from life experiences. So if you know someone who's going through, or maybe they're having a hard time and they just need to bounce back, I'm going to share a little bit about how I bounce back. Next week, before I forget, my special guest will be Marque Shelton he's a CFA of Shelton Financial Management. I'll tell you more about him towards the end of the show. I hope you had a great day, because I know that my day was okay. I didn't feel too great today, but it was all right. And I hope you had a good day. And if you're going to work tonight, I hope you have a good work night. I know that I will be snoring while you are working. So I just couldn't do nights, just couldn't do it. They would find me someplace in a corner and say, Miss Finez, today's your last day. Thank you for your services. Bye-bye. So I want to share something with you that I wrote a while back. And it says, in life, you have to be like a rubber band and snap back. Don't let situations make you or break you and make you lose control. Be resilient and learn to step back to assess the situation before losing control. So that brings me into my subject tonight, which is bouncing back. And I have to admit, that's not an original title. I actually saw a movie on Netflix, and the title was called The Bounce Back. And I just liked it because it represents so much that you can bounce back from. So I started thinking of the things that maybe a lot of people are going through. And I know in life, we have major crisis that happens. Illness occurs, relationships go bad, people pass away. Some people lose their jobs, and to them, that is the end of life per se, because some people are very engaged in their careers, and that can be devastating for some people, because companies do fold, and we have to realize where we are today with the economy. Things happen, and companies are not as strong financially as they were back in the day. Then you have to think about a person who loses their job. Then the bills start to pile up, and sometimes that can cause someone to be depressed and just go through life in a bad way, in a deep, dark way. So would it be fair to say that life just happens? I really believe that it does. But we have to ask ourselves, we have two options. When things happen to us, we only have two options. That's really it. It's one or two. We can sulk every day until nothing happens. We can wallow in our mess and sadness. We can wallow in sadness, and we can choose to seclude ourselves from everyone who loves us. We can refuse to get help, right? But at the end, we have to ask ourselves, what does that really do for my emotional state? Because we need others to survive. You can't just be in this bubble alone and don't reach out for help, because you may come in contact with someone who could be an instrument for you to get to the next level in your life, to get out of the deep, dark place where you are. And so whatever we're going through in life, there's always someone that has either been down that road, going down that road, or know someone who has been or done this, been in the same situation. So that is definitely the time to talk to, a pastor, a counselor, a therapist, a good friend, someone who you can confide in that won't share your business all over, but to help you get up. So you always want someone to pick you up. And then you look on the flip side, like I said, we can pick ourselves up. We can have a different attitude, because I believe that your attitude will determine how you perceive certain things that's going on in your life. There's so many things that you can go through. You have to say, I'm ready to conquer anything. Basically, come on, world, bring me all that you have. I can conquer it. And for me, I know that mindset came from trusting God and having a strong faith that I do. And I've had many trials and tribulations and situations happen in my life, things that just kind of blindsided me, didn't know they were coming. So we have to persevere until things get better. So I like to use the acronym PUSH, which I'm sure you probably have heard of it. It's pray until something happens. And I truly believe that will work. You pray about it and give it to God and know that He will come through for you. My position is I'm all about emotional healthiness, and I think that is so important. Life throws us many curveballs, and we have to be ready to catch and throw back. And so that's why I say again, if we need help, we have to speak up. We have to talk to someone. Like I said before, a counselor, pastor, friend, mentor, therapist, whoever. Talk to someone. Don't think that you can handle it alone, because sometimes it just doesn't work that way. And that's not for everyone. Some people just need to be by themselves to get a handle on certain situations. But if you feel that you can't cope, talk to someone. That is what I would recommend that you do. Personally, I have to say I've had many things happen in my life, like I said, and some that would probably cause me to be numb in life. But I chose to live life in a better place. I got married young. I would say I was 20, maybe 21, and 2 beautiful daughters, out of the marriage, and stayed married for 13 years. And I thought this was going to be my forever, and that we were going to grow old together, because we dated since we were 16. And, okay, so I go through life, and next thing you know, I'm going to have to say we split up, because apparently he wanted to live a homosexual lifestyle. Yes, he was gay, and I did say it. Okay. So that happened to me. And some people ask me, well, how did you handle that? How can you not blame yourself? First, I had to realize I didn't make that choice. And that was not my, anything that I did or didn't do that caused him to move in that direction or choose that lifestyle. This was something, a free will, right, that he wanted to do. So I would never put that blame on me and live with that guilt, because it just wasn't my fault. It wasn't like Vanessa said, hey, you need to go and be gay. No, it wasn't like that. So, how I dealt with it was, realize that it did happen. It was a little bit weird, because I never thought that it was going to happen to me. I felt like I had to ask God to forgive him and I had to ask him to forgive me if there's anything that I've done, but I know that I didn't, but you know how that goes. But so, I had to realize that I had a beautiful life to live, and that what I was going through was far beyond my circumstances. I had to talk to him, build a friendship with him, and not necessarily be one of bitterness, because that wasn't going to get too far, because one, we had 2 daughters to raise, and prayer was the biggest key. Prayer was the biggest thing for me, because I knew that God was going to see me through this whole thing. and that whatever I was going through, I wasn't going to stay in that space. Okay, I know I wasn't going to stay there. So, I had to learn how to talk to people and put myself out there and not be fearful of what others would think of me when I disclosed the situation. And for me to even say that on a podcast is good, because it shows me that I've come a long way, to really own up to the fact that I was married to someone and my marriage failed because he was gay. That's a lot to admit. Everyone couldn't say that. But God is good. And I was able to bounce back. I was able to bounce back with prayer, talking to those that I trust, and laughter. Those you know me, I love to laugh. And laughter is medicine for the soul. I know it's in the Bible, and it is so 100% true. Yes, it is. Because laughter can do so much with endorphins in your body. And not that you're going to go around laughing at everybody all serious and you sitting there laughing. No, not like that. But you know what I mean. Do everything in context. If there's something that you need to laugh at because someone told a good joke, giving a good hearty laugh will just makes you feel really good. You know that laugh I'm talking about, where you can't stop and you laughing with your friends till you start crying. Those are some good laughs. Well, this is a 15-minute show, and boy, do I have so much to say. So it looks like I'm going to have to turn this bounce back show into part 2, 3, and 4, because unfortunately, I can't cover everything in this one little 15-minute episode. And so I'm going to say right now that in wrapping up, that you have to be resilient. You have to know that what you're going through is not a forever situation, and that you are going to get past, so that you won't have this over your head. You're going to get through this. It's going to be, like I said before, like a stepping stone. You're going to keep going through this phase. But if you need help, I promise you it will be so much better if you talk to someone. So in wrapping up, I want to leave you with this little statement that I said. Giving up is never an option. Staying committed, staying positive, and resilient, because in the end, you will be happy that you completed your task. And that task is being committed to yourself, to see yourself in a better place. Never give up on yourself, because you can bounce back. Well, that's our show for today, guys. Make sure you tune in next week's show, where Marquis Shelton is going to be here with Shelton Financial Management. He's going to drop some financial nuggets that will encourage you to think about your money. We want to make sure our money is right, okay? Get your money right. You want to have our money right, and we want to prepare for the future. We don't want to spend everything we have, and we want to be proactive, not reactive. So we want to get our money right. So tune into that show. Okay, you can follow me on Facebook and get daily inspirations on Nezzy's Place page. If you haven't picked up Girlfriend, Your House is a Mess, please, please, please pick it up. You can get it on the Nezzy's Place website. All electronic versions are available, as well as the paperback. Okay, so guys, remember, like I always say, it's your house, your life, and your rules. Stay positive. Until next week, I am out. Have a good one.